What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Bigger. Wanted to talk real quick about the Super Bowl. If you didn't see it, I know you saw it. Let's talk about it. Now, I know this might sound hyperbolic, but just bear with me. I believe that the Super Bowl performance that we saw yesterday was probably the greatest Super Bowl performance in the history of the Super Bowl. And the reason that I say that is because this is the first time in Super Bowl history where you were not only entertained, but you were given so much to think about and unpack for the second half of the game and after the game was over. That has never happened. And yeah, we talk about, whatever mistakes happened or a bad note or something like that, or maybe even a super highlight that we, all appreciated. But we never in the history of Super Bowl halftime shows have ever had to analyze the performance in the way that we had to with Kendrick Lamar. Before I go any further, I was gonna write down the set list because I've watched it like 7-8 times already, but I'm just gonna kind of freestyle this. Maybe I'll come back and do like an in-depth kind of deal, but I'm just going to talk about the things that I noticed kind of off the rip. One of the very first things that I noticed was the way that he had his dancers in formation. I don't know if you peeped it, but it was a PlayStation controller, a Sony PlayStation controller. And I don't know if you know, but that's who owns Drake's contracts, Sony. Then on top of that, he had the OG gangster of all film, Samuel L. Jackson, playing Uncle Sam. First of all, the fact that he the fact that he utilized a black Uncle Sam in this situation, because we're talking about the black culture, was just that was just deep on a whole different level. If you're like my son, who was really hoping that he was going to give us the full song that he did for the intro of the GNX drop, it's not even on the album, but he didn't. He just stood on top of the GNX after Sam Jackson said what he said and gave us that verse, and then the little breaks and stuff like that he did was just awesome. Like I said, this is the first time that you've ever had to really think about a Super Bowl performance in this way. And just for that alone, in my book, it's the greatest of all time. On a side note, me and my oldest son, we made a set list before the game, and I had 3 songs right. My son beat me by 1 song, but whatever. Either way, the selection, there's probably maybe 1 or 2 songs I would have changed or order or something like that. And if I come back and do a in-depth analysis video, I'll talk about that. But it was a masterful performance. And one of my favorite parts was where he incorporated the girls, and he did it right before Luther, which was genius. And then the way that he played it before Not Like Us was actually quite diabolical. If I gotta give it a word or a definition, it was diabolical. One of the things that I noticed right away as it happened, and I don't think, at least in my opinion, I don't think that a lot of people caught it. Correct me if I'm wrong. Let me know in the comments. But when Sam Jackson took the point away from him for bringing all of his homies to the battle, I think that was very, very poignant. And the fact that he did Humble right after that, okay, you know what? Let me kind of humble myself. And then went right back into the K-Dot that we were there to see. To me, that was it was fucking awesome. I also remember, I said to my son after the first time that he teased Not Like Us, I said something to the effect of, I'll be upset if he doesn't perform it, because I really wanted to hear the entire planet screaming A minor. But the way that he did it was so masterful. I wouldn't have been but so mad but for so long. But luckily for all of us, he actually did it. Another thing that was a topic of conversation in my house was the pendant that Kendrick had on his chain, right? Initially, and I still kind of feel like this kind of ties in, but initially my first thought was that the A was for Aubrey, right? And it was lowercase because he was kind of shitting on him, saying that he was indeed the smaller person and kind of like little bro. And then it kind of went into A minor, which made all the sense, right? Because it's a lowercase a. But in case you didn't know, I wanted to share, it is actually the logo for his company, PG Lang. If you were to Google it, I'll try to put up a picture if I can find one, but that is the actual logo from PG Lang. I still think that the other two things are something that could be tied in and something that he possibly thought about, but if I'm being honest, the PG Lang thing made the most sense. Last but not least, in any capacity at all, is Not Like Us. We all know this song. We all love this song. We all wanted to hear this song. It was a super duper debate about whether or not he was even going to be able to legally perform the song at the Super Bowl. And the fact that he addressed all of those things, right? And kind of like, if you think about it, the way that he set it up, it was kind of like he teased the song to say, I can't do this for whatever reason, but I wanted to give it to y'all just a little bit, which is why I said earlier that I probably would have ultimately ended up moving past it if he had not done it. But the fact that he teased it and let us know, you know, people like to sue, and you know, this could be problematic, and you know, people might think that I'm not playing fair, but F it, like that right there was the most epic moment in the Super Bowl. Insanity that was. Like, seriously, bro. Masterful performance. The all of the Easter eggs that he put into that performance are going to be talked about for weeks, I'm sure. I'm probably going to do another video about this because it really is that deep. But I just wanted to come on real quick and say, you know, rest in peace to Aubrey Graham. Like, I hope somebody checked on him. Then, just a sidebar, I saw that people were screaming A minor to Drake as he was walking through, because I think he had a show or something. He's in Australia right now. Like, I hope he's okay. And also, like, whew, I hope that the the good old folks in KC are okay too, because they got spanked. That was kind of disturbing. Like, they had a little bit of a comeback run, but whew. Anyway, I'll check y'all next time. Let me know how you felt about the performance in the comments, and I'll be back in a bit. One.